Okay. So, this is all a theory that's been going on in my head. Alright? Since the end of Chapter 6, when it was stated that Canon and Shannon specifically were pieces of Beatrice, it made me think that they were in fact the same person. And because of that, I thought that they can't be in the same place at once. So when Will wanted both of them at the same place, I thought, this is it. They can't be at the same place at the same time. But let's say that that theory is not correct. Let's say for a second that I'm wrong, which I expect to be wrong. This is just a working theory in mind. If they weren't, something was supposed to happen if Will saw Canon and Shannon at the same time. Something that would have broken the game. Again, I have my thoughts, but I'm trying to think on what it could actually be. Maybe it has something to do with Leon. Maybe Leon is actually the villain right now. I don't know. Everything has to be presented to us, and I'm subject to Nox's 9th, or Van Dyne's whatever, to basically come to my own conclusions right now. It's a working theory until I actually, figure things out. Someone did mention something to me after I beat Chapter 6, and I already relayed that information to them. They said, if you want, basically, if you want a kicker to have the gears up in your head going, check out the fact that in Chapters 1 through 4, check out when and where Canon were the whole time. And due to that, I looked back, and after talking a little bit more, we came to the realization, or at least that's the stretch that I'm going to say. It all comes down to, something that's going on based upon the hints that were given at the end of Chapter 6 about them being the parts of Beatrice. So with that in mind, I think that they're the same person, because the red truth at the end stated that there are only 16 people on Rokenjima. Why? Because with Eureka, it makes 17. That would make sense if Canon and Shannon were the same person. And that is why they can't be at the same point, in the same place, in the same time, to the detective. But Will doesn't... Wait, so she doesn't even know her. Oh my god. Oh my god, everything is just... I don't know. I don't know right now. Because... on one hand, I'm not trusting Leon. On the other hand, I'm thinking that both of them are parts of Beatrice, and maybe... who knows? Maybe they are Beatrice. Maybe Canon and Shannon together are actually the last Beatrice. I don't know. I don't know. I'm really scratching at my head here. I'm thinking, wait, what about this? What about this? I'm trying to have all possible points of view. And I'll say this right now, you will not hear my final proclamation of who the culprit is. You'll hear theories bouncing back and forth between me and myself, basically trying to think on, who actually the culprit is and everything, but you're never going to hear me say, it is this, it is that, until the very end. I am planning on basically right after Chapter 8, like literally right after Chapter 8, I am planning on revealing who I believe is the culprit. Right now, I'm guessing that Shannon and Canon have something to do with this. And I'm thinking, based on the end of Chapter 6, and based on the red text at the end of Chapter 6, that they could be the culprit. But here is the problem with that. The servant cannot be the culprit. Van Dyne's rules is stating that they can't be the culprit. So, already I've lost. It's a moot point by this point to even go further in that. because of Van Dyne's rules. So, it's really hard. It's really hard to find the culprit right now. Because I'm trying to think, who's Leon? Who's Kanan and Shannon? Do they matter? Because Will stated that it can't be the servant. So, I'll admit, I'm not the best critical thinker, but I do have common sense. Kinza's supposed to be dead. We're talking with a dead man here. We were just given crazy text by Shannon. That is no... no. 07's computer didn't break and he just started having some weird music going on. That's something important. And I need to take that information, I need to store it, I need to figure out what's going on. I feel like I'm close to the truth. The problem is the red text that has been stated to me. If Will hadn't said that in the very beginning, I wouldn't be doubting myself. I would be thinking, it's gotta be this. This is just confirming that. I think I know who the culprit is, but because Will stated that, I can't... Will gave me a red truth that is making me rethink everything. It has to be one of the Ushiromias. It can't be Kinzo, it can't be Butler, it can't be Natsu. We know those three can't be it. So it could be anyone else in the Ushiromiya family. The question is who? Think you can write my will for me? Oh, I'm trying to critically think here. I'm trying to look past things. I'm trying to think of the how the culprit did things. I'm trying to think of the why. Right now, it doesn't matter. Right now, I've got to take the clues that Will is giving to me, and I've got to process them. Right now, that whatever the fuck just happened. Oh. God, no. So what do I know so far? There are 3 Beatrices. The original one that gave all the gold, the one from Kumadorian, and the Witch of Rokenjima. Those are the 3 Beatrices we have now. They cannot be all the same age. What do we know based on what just happened? Kanan is not allowed to talk to Will at the same time as Shannon. For whatever bullshit reason, and I have my own theories on that, but it could be something completely different. I'm open to interpretation. For whatever reason, they can't talk about that. Or, more specifically, we can't have 3 people who do not know Leon in the same room. I don't know if it has to do with Leon. I don't know if it has to do with Kanan or Shannon. I just know that it's not allowed. And because of that, it's something that I have to store away. What else do we know? Besides Beatrice's 3 people, besides Kanan, Shannon, and Will can't be in the same room at the same time and talk about Leon, because all 3 of them don't know who Leon is. What else do we know? Okay. I'm trying to think. There are 16 people on Rokenjima, not counting Will, or the detective, or anyone who comes in. There are always 16 people. Which is why that whole theory of mine about Kanan and Shannon being the same person came about. Because of the end of Chapter 6, and because of the fact that, you know, stated in red, there are 17 people on the island with Eureka. That makes 16. Hell, I can even math my way through this. 19 people. The 19th person is Beatrice. Alright. Take that away. Because let's say Beatrice is also Kanan and Shannon. That's 3 people. 19 minus 3, that's 16. No. No, wait, hold on. No. because we have to take away Kinzo, that would make 15. So something's off in my mouth. Hold on. There's no building known as Midoriya in Rokonjima. Yeah, bullshit. Yeah, bullshit. Okay, so I'm thinking. 19 people, minus 1, 18 people. Minus Kinzo, 17 people. Plus Arika, 18 people. Minus Kanon and Shannon, 16 people. That's my idea right now. Based on the information I received at the end of Chapter 6. A lot of people were saying to me, not just like 1 or 2 people, a lot, were saying that by the end of Chapter 6, I should pretty much know what's going on. I've gotten really big clues, and I'm trying to process all of them together. I won't give a statement, because I have multiple points of view. Hell, one of my friends actually threw at me a secondary theory. I'm not going to go into that secondary theory, but it also can explain, without Kanon and Shannon being the same person, that there are actually 16 people on Rokonjima at one time. I won't go into that theory because I need to see proof from the game before I go into that theory, before I just throw it out to be basically just interpreted. But it's a theory that I was also thinking about, and it also makes sense. It makes sense based on what happened in Chapter 3 and Chapter 4, why things are centered around the way that they are. It's an entirely new perspective, and right now I'm viewing both of them as Bronze Tube, and I'm trying to figure out which one could be true. Which one is actually true. Who knows? By the time you're seeing this, I may have already found the answer. Who the fuck knows? And that's just a mystery on who the culprit / what the fuck is going on. We haven't even started on the epitaph. We haven't even started on other fucking bullshit mysteries. Ugh. I don't know. That's weird that this game's Genji wouldn't remember this, but Kanon and Shannon remember past games. That's actually a little bit weird. Okay, I actually have another theory going on. The only people who have really gone into depth of being furniture are Kanon and Shannon. Never once have I seen Genji act in a sort of furniture fashion. He's called himself furniture, yes, but I've never seen him do anything magical. So, I don't know. I don't even know if Genji's furniture, or if he's just a regular old, just really good butler. I'm actually going to take a break from thinking, because, holy crap, and I'm just going to take what's going on as is. Because I've kind of, the problem is, and I have to be sparingly with this, with my critical thinking in my episodes. I have to stop and think, because if I think and I play the game at the same time, I miss out on key important details. It's happened in the past. If you look at my previous videos, back in, you know, Chapter 2 or 3, or maybe even 4, there were a lot of times where I just missed information because I was too busy up in my own mind trying to think on what's going on. Right now, I need to take these clues, I need to learn these clues, and I need to figure out what's going on. Because, I don't know. I don't know how Will knows this. I mean, I do know how Will knows this, but I don't know in human terms. Actually, in human terms, is Will even here? Who the fuck is Will? He's a detective of heresy, but in human terms... Actually, in human terms, Kinzo's here and Will's here! What the fuck? fuck's going on? Oh my god. This is the critical thinking episode where I just lay down everything that I'm thinking right now. I have laid down multiple theories in this episode. I don't know which one's right. I'm leaning more towards Canon Shannon theory right now as of this moment, but I'm also leaning towards a theory that my friend mentioned because, you know, I need to see information based around that. Also, at the same time, I'm thinking, you know, well, wait a minute. Who is Leon? What's going on here? Who's Genji? Why is Kinzo here? Why is Will here? Right? Oh my gosh. Why did Beatrice die? My only thought as to why Beatrice died was the epitaph, where we had to lay the witch to rest. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just gonna continue playing. I'm gonna enjoy the game for what it is, and I'm going to think about my logic and reasoning in later. I mean, logic and reasoning, it's important. You know, especially in this game. But there comes a time where you gotta stop your logic and reasoning, and you got to listen to what the people are saying. I listened to the comments. I listened to my Discord chat. I listened to criticism. I listen to what the characters in the game are saying. I'm taking all this information in, but there is a point where I have to stop taking the information in and I just gotta read. I just gotta watch what's going on. I really love Will right here, though. Will is not like Delanor, who's like, I have to take my job seriously, bullshit, all this happened. Will's like, I know the heart, I can confirm, I'm not going to try and deny all this. We cannot prove nor deny. I don't know. Really, all I can say at the very end of the day, and honestly, when this series ends, after I give my reasoning, all my thoughts, put them all into words, and sit down for a second and realize everything, like try and actually decide what's going on. At the very end of the day, Nox is ninth. We are permitted to our own point of views, and because we're permitted to our own point of views, you can have a different theory than mine. It can work. So, I'm not going to talk theories. I'm going to take things as they go, as normal. There are times when I critically think, and it gets in the way of my reading. There are times when I read only, and it gets in the way of my critical thinking. It's one of those things where I don't know. I don't know which side to go on. It's just... I don't know. I'm sorry, that whole Shannon not being able to switch with canon thing sparked this whole thing where I kind of had to give my own reasoning and my own logic and tell people what's going on. Because I mentioned this theory at the beginning of this chapter. I mentioned it in this recording. I was hoping to save it, but then I honestly I mentioned it. I didn't want to mention it because, you know, things weren't happening. But then I was given proof, and I had to mention it. because I cannot keep things from the reader. I mean, I can. There are things... If there's a theory that I'm seeing that's not being proven right, I'm not even going to bring it up. Like, throughout most of this game, I've been pretty good at not even bringing up, say, theories like Rosatrice or Dark Butler, because a lot of the game tends to avoid that. And when it does, there's no reason of just staying on one theory. You have to jump from theory to theory. And if a theory that actually makes sense and actually is viable comes up, but the game is not mentioning any evidence towards that, it's good to keep that theory in the back of your head and present it later when you try and figure out what's actually going on. And I don't know if I'm playing the game the right way then. If I need to explain every single theory. Honestly, if I'm ready to explain every single theory, I would start with Dark Butler, I would go then to Rosatrice, I would explain how Rosatrice would work in Chapter 4, I would explain how Dark Butler would work in Chapter 1, I would explain how Chain Cannon works in Chapter 6 and so far in 7, I would explain how certain other theories that has come to my attention, how they work in different situations, but at the end of the day, it's all up to interpretation. So with that, everybody, I'm going to leave you with that as I go on to the next video. And I'm just going to normally play. I feel like there's a lot of pressure in terms of actually figuring out the culprit. But honestly, I'll take it as I go. And I just hit my freaking controller. So until then, guys, I will see you guys in the next episode. So until then, guys, I'll see you then.